Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 408, and today we're doing battle with Norra Returno Wrench. And so, the Returno Wrench, this is one of the cards I was very interested in with the release of the Heart of the Huntress spoiler. Throughout the history of the game, all of the discard-based cards, discard B to get something, kind of cards have been incredibly playable. Things like Jury Rig giving you units, Vision giving your units a bonus, Survival Skills protecting your units, the things like the Fearsome Dudes you discard and get other things in your hand. Without fail, all of these discard cards have been exceptionally powerful. And so I felt like Returno Wrench was going to be right in that same space, especially since it has the ability to come back to your hand and be discarded again. And so if you're not familiar with how this is going to go, we're going to discard the Returno Wrench to something. It's going to land on a unit. That unit is then going to die in combat somehow. The Returno Wrench will come back to our hand, and then we're able to discard it to something else. And so, as we are in the space of Bandle City, the things that I was really looking to be discarding the Returno Wrench to were going to be the Electro Harpoon, just a very high impact removal spell dealing 2 damage to a small unit, ideally a Samira-sized unit falling to the Electro Harpoon, while also getting to deal damage to the opposing face. Tie that in with another discard-based removal spell in the Blowback, and we're getting this nice little burn package kind of assembled between the Electro Harpoon dealing damage, the Blowback dealing damage, and then the Returno Wrench giving the unit impact, which should be able to deal damage to the opposing face. And so as we have all of these face damage kind of things coming together, I initially tried this out with some of the Mecha Yordles along with Jinx, but I ultimately wasn't super happy with that. I wasn't happy with the Mecha Yordle package. It was just too slow. Jinx was having troubles actually discarding everything out of our hand, and so I just kind of moved away from that, and I started to move more and more into this Portals package. And so as we mentioned the burn spells, we did not mention the card draw cards. And so the cards like Rummage, getting the free discards out of Returno Wrench to draw more cards, and then Parts Made Whole actually giving us a unit if we discard it. Having all of this card draw was quite nice, but we kind of needed to tie it into something useful and impactful to the game, and that's how we landed in on the Portals. And so if you're not familiar with some of these Portal synergies, you play a card like Norra, you get your attack in, you put the Portal somewhere in the top 4 cards of your deck, but you're not necessarily getting that unit very fast. And so the idea with having all of this card draw is we load 2 and 3 and 4 portals into our deck. We don't really want to wait on those cards to come down. We'd like to have them come down immediately. And so one of the big synergies you're going to see out of this style of deck is shuffling the portals into the deck, playing a Rummage, and then bursting 2 or 3 units onto the board, and then having them ready for combat, whether or not that's for an attack or a surprise block on your opposing units. And so we do have a fairly heavy Portals package running in the deck. There's the Norra, there's the Junk Construct along with the Portal Palooza, the fairly standard fare there, but the big tie-in that we really get is another new card out of Heart of the Huntress in the Portal Scholar. And so it's a very reasonably statted unit. Having the 4 health means that it can combat with most of the lower costed cards in the game, but more importantly, this is both shuffling a portal into our deck, which we're trying to take advantage of, but it gives our created allies impact. And so that is the other kind of big angle that we're really looking to take forth with this deck, is we're getting impact from the Returno Wrench, we're getting impact from the units generated by Portal Scholar, and then we also have the incidental burn from the Electro Harpoon and the Blowback. And so we're ideally going to be able to just throw away a bunch of units, right? We're hopefully ideally dealing some damage in combat, but if we're just throwing away our units, getting trades, replacing them with portals, getting more trades, but getting chip damage in along the way, we should be able to kind of outgrind our opponent's board while presenting a lot of damage coming through with this impact/burn route. And so that's the kind of main and core idea of the deck. There's a few other incidentals kind of running around through here. Boom Baboon is around to generate the Flame Chompers, give us an additional discard card besides the Returno Wrench. Sneezy Biggledust is here to just grow all of the portaled units at a very fast speed, and then a little bit of additional removal coming from the Group Shot. The last card that looks a little bit odd in here is going to be the Stone Stackers. It's another bro that has impact. Very happy to be using the impact keyword across the course of the deck, but I've been pretty impressed over the course of Eternal with these 2-3 units running around, and I like having access to this 2-3 unit here. It's just very good at dealing with a lot of the smaller based units of the format, dealing with the Samiras of the format. Just having that 3 health point is very big. And so I'm not sold on wanting the full 3 copies of it. Maybe it should be 2 of these and 3 Boom Baboons. I haven't really nailed down the finality of this deck, but at this point, I'm pretty happy with where it stands, and we're going to go into some battles right now. And so, before the battles begin, you all know what we have to do. We have to go and pay that pay-to-win price. We got to turn something premium, and I'm going to hit up the blowback. I was really surprised that we haven't turned blowback premium, as we just went through the big Eternal season and played a lot of the high-profile events. We tend to premium out our whole decks in those kind of events, and I didn't actually hit the blowback. And so it's been missed in the past. It's not missed anymore. We're getting it loaded up now. And I noticed this earlier, right before the expansion hit, we did roll over to that 1,000,000 gem mark. I'm sure we'll I'm sure we'll find something to spend gems on at some point. Maybe 7 or 8 sets down the road, we'll we'll run out of wild cards or something and find a place to spend those gems. But hit that big 1,000,000 club. Go us. Big ballin' with all those gems. Maybe we'll find something to cash those in for at some point. Riot needs to just release something, some 1,000,000 gem skin that we can drop all those things onto and just be done with it. But all right, going up against the current most popular deck of the format in this Evelynn Targon deck, let's see how this goes. Ideally, we're going to be starting the game with a Norra. We didn't find one here, but we found one now, and so hopefully we can get these portals going, get a bigger board than the opponent has. It takes them a little bit of time to come in and ramp up and really get their things going, and so we'll see if we're able to get the width before the big scary the big scary units come down. Right, so fairly slow start from opponent. I want to see if they play like the 4-cost thing here, and then maybe have a hate spike. I would not be surprised at all to see a hate spike want to come down onto this Norra. Doesn't have it at this point. Quite good for us. How about that Evelynn? Is she gonna come down? Try and ruin our day? There she is. Okay, at least she didn't hit any of the big keywords. The thing that I'm typically looking to consider removing husks for is going to be elusive. The elusive makes it really challenging to actually block Evelynn and block the other units, and then it also lets them block our Norras. And so I don't really want that nonsense happening. I prefer those units to not be in combat.
Scream for me.
All right, but reasonable enough stuff here. This is one of these turns to where I'm looking to rummage and then hook Evelynn out of combat and just see how much damage we can get in for the round. And so we don't really need the stone stackers anymore at this point, and we found ourselves with a place for a pretty decent combat. So let's slam these summons in. Let's see if we can't kick off some of this big damage package here. Where you at, Evelynn? Get her hooked out. Wouldn't be surprised to see the domination land on the Grandfather Fae. That was a bit of a bummer of a hit there. But, you know, generating the Hungry Owlcat can be pretty useful for us in terms of having additional discard kind of cards.
So do my victims, at least at the start.
All right, the big old collection of husks rolling through. Not particularly scared right here. It looks like they're kind of far away from landing a Zolani, and doesn't really have a collection of scary units on the board. And so ideally, we'll be able to attack around this stuff still. The combats aren't looking too compelling right now, but we just need a little bit more damage, and then opponent not to have some lifesteal, right? And then we can potentially come in and burn them out.
Back on the prowl.
Gonna have a lot of challenging coming through this turn.
Ready for a little splish splash.
All right, steam rolls in.
You know that.
Big old boy running over here. He's got quite the amount of stats on him. So let's go ahead and start trying to clear some of this out. We're most certainly going to be losing our Norra here. I wonder, we probably can't get through this turn with just not playing any cards. I don't think that that's going to be a thing. Let's just start discarding some stuff. We can follow up on Steam. Like, he's going to come in and most certainly take down the Norra. But we can follow up with an additional Norra And then, oh, that makes sense. But we should be able to, you know, potentially take him off board with the blowback and then still add the second Norra in. And a Stellacorn, not who we want to see here. Definitely a little worried about the
There's power in water.
definitely a little worried about our ability to burn him out with this stupid thing running around, bringing in the heals. He's just gonna keep his board completely full. Makes sense. So I'm leaning in this space. We're gonna drop another Norra. We probably want to just go ahead and equip her. The thing that worries me a little bit here is just the kind of presence of Hate Spike. We need to get in as much damage with Norra as we can. And if she dies in this combat, it's not going to be that great. And so I'm leaning towards just playing the Wandering Shepherd. Maybe we can find a +3/+2 or something to give her that little bit of protection she needs to survive against a Hate Spike. Just got to chunk in for a little bit more damage, right? She can still get blocked next turn, right? You can drop a Hush onto Norra, but if she gets that 4 points of damage in, I'll feel a little bit better about being able to end this game. Right, we've got lethal here now. If he doesn't have a block for Norra, we have the 4 from Norra, the 3 from the blowback, and the 2 from the Electro Harpoon. So we might be able to get a finish here. Don't like seeing these spells roll in, though. That's indicative of a problem. Double Hate Spike. Oh, but he sends one off of this Husk in the back line. Okay, we can deal with that. So let's discard the Combat Reel. We'll discard the Darkness. If we need to cast Portal Palooza next turn, you know, that's a little bit more ideal. Ooh, I think we did it. I think we got there. Nice.
Impress me.
Alright, opponent falls to 2. You say, know what time it is? Harpoon time. Nugget. Nice. Alright, GG. Market a W for not Evelynn. On to the next one. Feels good. Feels good. A lot of what I was wanting to showcase popped up in the first game. We haven't got to activate that Returno wrench yet, but a lot of the sequences that you're going to see with these games kind of happened right there, to where we're going to flood the board with these shitty units. Just try to deal damage. Don't even worry about how the combats are going to go. Just get in as much damage as we can, and then try and finish it off with a bit of burn. So what you'll find against Evelynn. Like, are we really going to combat Evelynn? No. Like, their units are just so big across the course of the game. There's no way that we're gonna actually sit around and win those. And so, very nice to come in and get the damage like that. Also nice to see that the recognition of what a problem Hate Spike was going to be, and just saying, nah, man, no, thank you, no, thank you. All right, now up against Nidalee Varus. This is a big OTK style deck. You can get Varus up to a gigantic amount of health. With this, I'm going to be trying to find our Norras. We want to start off the game with either Junk Construct or Norra. We had the one Junk Construct, but Norra is the more ideal play here. And so, I'm glad to see her turn up. Still sorry about the deck tracker. It's not even... Let me see if we can get it to load. It's got a little bit more than half of the deck this time, and so... There it is. There's only 3 cards missing at this point. Hopefully that helps you with the visuals a little bit. Yeah, I thought this was a very interesting interaction with the parts made whole and the discard thing, the Returno wrench, being able to just discard the wrench, draw 2, get the unit on board, and then also having some of these created cards matter kind of things also tie in with that additional unit coming on board. Having some of these turns to where you discard the Returno Wrench to the Parts Made Whole and then get that unit and a portal, you just have so much opportunity for these big burst attackers to roll through. It's all around quite nice. And this is interesting. I want to be able, like, I want him to hook the Norra with the All-Terrain Trooper. I mean, realistically, he's not going to be doing that, right? Let's just go ahead and load her up with an equipment, see if we can't give her at least a little bit more health. Didn't get high enough. He's going to be able to take it down with the Forsaken Bakai. And the Cub.
This way, come along.
Sure. I'd almost rather just drop the junk construct here, but I think this is still okay. Norra coming right back. She says, "I ain't done, bust." It takes more than that to get rid of me.
Joy is a good look in a book and a cat in a lap.
So I'm curious how much these decks are playing Quicksand now. I just with so much of the Evelynn deck running around, I wonder, you know, how much of that they're going to be bringing. Oof. Here comes the squad. But no, as we attack with this Norra, Quicksand, an opponent having 3 mana is a very real possibility. But I was curious how that was actually going to fall. But see, this is another thing that we can do here, right? As he's running around with this fearsome Paka Cub, we can still discard stuff to... we can discard it to the...
Well, aren't you the cutest thing of a
the combat reel to the Parts Made Whole. Got that bigger unit on board. Lots of opportunities everywhere. I don't know about you, but I love a good opportunity.
Gaze into the light.
We want to take this block? I don't think we want to spend the group shot here just yet. How many of these can we just outright kill? Just pretty much everything. So let's at least drop this group shot onto the shadows in the brush. I just want to be spending as much mana as we can now. Like, our hand very easily gets clogged up as we're out here trying to spend cards like Portal Palooza. So I think this is probably worthwhile. Just a very high percentage chance this thing's a Nidalee now, right? Let's see if we can't get a takedown. It's also nice being able to come into this next turn. Sure. And we don't have any portals, but we could still look to, say, like Portal Palooza, see if we hit on an extra bonus unit or something. Not just yet. Not yet. Get at least one bonus, bro.
Step lightly.
Alright, run him in.
Come no closer.
Not a bad round. It's going to send that Returno Wrench right back into our hand. We got just absolute tons of mana to be spending here. I'm pretty happy with how this is going. Feels strong to me. You don't want to block our junk construct, huh? You don't want to put that wrench right back in our hand? Interesting. Interesting. So I'm looking to probably just discard the combat reel and take this Paka Cub off of the board. He could have a second one. Like, it's interesting in what the shadows in the brush could be. He hasn't dropped Nidalee at this point. He seems to be playing a wide variety of these things, but I don't think I want to risk just getting completely blown up next turn if it's either the bird or if it's another Paka Cub. And so I'll just go ahead and take that one down. Hopefully we don't take a ton of damage, and then 2 turns from now, we can be pretty well set up to try and double Portal Palooza and just completely refill the board. This has got to be a Nidalee, right? With the shadows in the brush. She's nowhere near flipping, though, so not nearly as scared.
Swift, silent.
Oh, the Towering Parophant. feel like we probably gotta give up on Norra at this point. She's done her job. She's done her work.
Hello again.
We'll just start trying to go the damage route. So we'll add in the Wandering Shepherd, and then next turn we're just going to double Portal Palooza, see if we can't spike out of these 3 portals that are already in our deck, and then a big round of them next turn. So we hit 1. Solter comes on board. Not the greatest. Big ol' Dust is interesting though. How many units do we have? We can't, of course, attack with the Husk, but this is quite a bit of damage to get to roll through. And so, say we Big ol' Dust, he blocks our 5. He's looking to take 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're 1 short of the lethal there. If we go the Big ol' Dust route, my worry now is if we come in and try and play Portal Palooza, that we're just going to send stuff to our hand because we can't do anything about this Husk.
I'm armed. Am I armed?
Alright, squad. I missed on the Shepherd getting that bonus health, though. Taking down the Paraffin here is pretty huge. Now we do get to take a play from Evelynn's playbook and boost up the Boom Baboon off of this Big ol' Dusted Worded Husk. Hopefully that'll be okay. You gotta worry about Big Varus rolling through next turn with an OTK. We do have a 6 health unit at this point, so we might have something there, but non-zero chance we just get blown up by him next turn. Oh, we're gonna lose out on our stats next turn as well. Kind of a bummer. Is he gonna add a Zolani though? He's gonna... No, he's not. He's not. There it is. What's up, Mystic Shot?
There's a price to pay. May we bleed forever.
May we bleed forever. Never noticed that voice line on the Dark Enthrall. That sounds awful. That does not sound like a way you want to spend your day. Alright, let's give him a chance to come in and spend a bunch of mana. Ideally, he won't have the mana to play a Rite of Negation, but we'll see. Doesn't have it. GG. Mark it a W. Right up there for bust. It's so wild with these, like, I found myself in a lot of these games being in this spot where we have a bunch of Portal Paloozas in our hand and can't actually play them. It feels like a very incorrectness to want to take the Portal Paloozas out of the deck, but it's something I've definitely been kind of considering. At least one, maybe cut it down to 2 copies instead of 3. Haven't quite decided. But up against Karma Sett, very happy to hang on to the Junk Constructs here. Might even be a little bit happier to have Junk Construct than Norra as these games start off. But another great usage of the Stone Stackers being able to survive against the Mystic Shots high notes that come out of this deck. Good stuff. Am gonna look to Mystic Shot this Acorn. It's a bit unfortunate, but I want to get it removed so it's not actively interfering with our Norra. It's gonna take her a bit of time to get on board, but I had it in my head that was gonna work. work more in the way I wanted it to, but at the end of the day, it didn't. I was thinking that we needed like you can make that 2/2/2 play, right, where you play 2-drop, and a spell. And I was looking to do that with the Junk Construct, the Norra, and the Mystic Shot, but we don't have the mana at this point, right? We needed to just play a unit, let that one acorn hit. So I'm gonna let that one go, add in the Scholar, and then just try and pop off a little bit on this next turn. We have the discard of Returno Wrench from Parts Made Whole. That's going to give us a unit and a couple of additional card draws. So very high percentage chance we hit the portal off of this Portal Scholar and then just be ready with a big ol' attack to roll through with. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. It's okay to say it, you know? It's okay to say bust all the stuff you're doing is pretty cool in my books. Pretty cool. Y'all want to talk about the weather some more? Still fucking hot out here. It got up to like 104 yesterday in Kansas City. I think today the high is only 101. It's bullshit. It's another reason we're out here playing these burn decks, right? It's hot in Kansas City. Burn stuff is hot. You got to look at it in that way. To is the reason that we're out here doing all this stuff, you know. All right, interesting. It's a little unfortunate, right? We would have liked to have picked up impact on all these units that we're about to summon, but we might find ourselves in a spot to where this Norra actually gets to combat this turn. Just kind of sucks to run out Norra when he's already got the Acorn on board, and so maybe we'll just add the Construct and then look to make a Parts Made Whole.
Stepping into the ring.
Nice little combat squad.
This should be fun.
Nice little combat squad. Ooh, he's gonna send that Returno Wrench right back into hand, ready to be discarded to the blowback and stuff. I am on board. I think you would want to switch those blockers around, but no complaints from me. I'm ready for some more combats. Let's get this squad in here, just doing the work the best that they can. Little Junk Constructs they essentially just have unblockable, right? But they should have just put that on the Junk Construct. Last breath, shuffle a portal into your deck. This unit cannot be blocked. Interesting Aftershock. Just curious if this is the space where Sett comes down. But I'm going to look to Stone Stack. We'll drop the Portal Scholar after him. Just continue to wait on this Norra. No portals at this point. It's a bit of a bummer, but got a very strong board otherwise. So what's the worst could happen to us, right? I'm not super familiar with playing this format to where... to where the Karma Sett deck is real and popular. If we attack that 7, we can get up to 10 with the Biggle Dust. I would assume that he's probably got a card or something. Let's add in a Portal Scholar and see what happens. There's not like a ton of spells that'll cause problems here, right? It's like if we make an open attack and play the Biggle Dust and he has a Concussive Palm, or if he has a Tag Out, whatever bounce spell people play these days, it's kind of annoying. Let's add Norra to the board first. I don't want to play this group shot onto the tail of the dragon, then he bounce spells one of our units. Can't just switch onto this Acorn, though. Maybe get a Norra hit in. There's the tag out. Cool. And so at this point, you know, we are about to approach turn 10 against Karma Sett. They've only got 2 cards in hand, and if their cards at this point aren't things like the card draw thing, it's very tough for them to come back in this game. And so, you know, it's like if he has a Karma, he only has 1 card, and if he has the, you know, a Sett and a card draw thing, that would be a little scarier, but feels like we're in a pretty decent space here. Here's the Karma. Definitely casting a spell on her. The unblockable junk constructs coming through, am I right? Is this going to be a deny? Absolutely. Absolutely fine.
Reconsider.
Alright, combat time. Portal in a cup and a cat in a hat, right? I don't remember the Norra voice lines. That's too much for me. But let's see. He says that's too much. Bust. GG. Thanks for stopping by.
Bless my socks, I've done it.
Yeah, I'd mentioned yesterday I went outside and it was just like I was sweaty for like an hour after the fact. I had to deal with trash yesterday. It's trash day, you know. I just like opened the door and it's like, fuck this day. This day is done. I feel so bad for people that have to work outside in this stuff, or even well, stop right there. People that work outside, yes, I most certainly feel bad for them. But even just having to say like, walk 3 or 4 blocks in this hot ass heat to go from your car to the office building wherever you work, fucking sucks too. So, ugh. Welcome to Kansas City. Welcome to the city. Alright, into the next battle though. Up against Ekko Nidalee. Not entirely certain what we'll see out of this. This is something I would typically expect to be, you know, Ekko Jinx, but Nidalee's here today. I don't quite understand how they synergize together, but we'll find out. I'm sure opponent will let us know.
With the power of time, the possibilities are
Right.
endless.
Captain Unblockable down here.
It can be undone.
Alright, block. Why not, right? Why not? Let's go ahead and take this thing off the board. Let stone stackers get to work next turn. Take 1 less action to get that far. No portals? Kind of a bummer. I expect to just have every answer we need all the time. It should have came through, right? It should have came through. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. Now that we're in this spot to where he's got the shadows in the brush and the board, and we have Electro Harpoon in hand. I don't feel great about discarding any of these cards, but we could have altered our gameplay a little bit to get the Boom Baboon on board instead. He's out of mana with no predicts. We have to take down the Ekko now. We're not going to have time. Otherwise. So who are we going to discard here? I'm leaning towards just the Boom Baboon. We can block the shadows in the brush with the 2/3. If it's an all-terrain trooper, I don't particularly care. Oh no, is he going to flip? Oh, fuck. I thought he was at 2 of 4. God damn it. We should have just played blowback. That one's on me. I swore I looked at him and he said 2 of 4. Alright. Well, it might be kind of fucked now. It's just, it's not even him getting like the extra cards that are making this worse. It's the fact that we have to invest so much mana into this board to now try and get rid of him. I guess we can just use a single blowback and hopefully get the kill, but that was on me.
All coming back to me now.
Make a little whoopsies every once in a while. Not immune to it. Let's see if we can't snatch it back, though. He does get this free block with the drop border. I think I'm okay with that. The rest of his blocks aren't very good.
Nuh-uh.
Interesting. Oh, is he going to have the scrying sands?
Turn tail.
Okay. We're so close, though. We're so close to the magic happening. We just keep making questionable plays left and right, but these, let's be real, these plays aren't questionable. These are beyond questionable. Now we don't even have the dudes on board to hook on our Returno wrench. All right. Sometimes your biggest enemy is yourself. You know what it is? It's not me. It's this heat. It's this heat coming in from Kansas City. Whew. Fuck. What is this? Is that the new Samira skin? Has to be. This has to be Samira Fizz, right? I haven't seen this yet. What do we got? Looks pretty cool. Looks very, very fighting gamery. Soul fightery, if you will. It's cool. Well done. Well done. All right. But with this one, I want to make sure we have one stone stackers to kind of combat an early Samira. And so ideally, we'll be finding some of our other plays. All right, we'll find our junk constructs, we'll find our Norras, but this is one of the matchups to where we're pretty happy to have the likes of stone stackers since it's so good at just shutting down Samira. Doesn't shut down Elegant Edge, but that's a problem for another day. Where's our wrench at? We really need Returno wrench to start popping off with this stuff. No blocks, huh? Nobody's blocking the junk construct? It's weird. so weird, huh? So what do we got? A stylish shot into Father Fury. How willing are we to just throw away Norra in this space? Like, we need to just come in and prevent as much damage as we can. So I think I feel pretty okay about it. I guess the other angle here, though, is we're kind of technically taking more damage from this Elegant Edge than we are off of the Father Fury. And so there is a little bit of incentive to actually just try and shoot down the Elegant Edge first and then follow up with Norra. Okay. That's manageable. So he's gonna get his stylish shot back. Oh, that's not manageable. We're getting fucking nuggeted. You're getting nugged off of that. I just saw our dude on board and was like, "Yep, I'm ready to block," and that is not the case. That is not what's about to happen. So that was just actual disaster mode there. Actual disaster. Well, we don't have time for this Portal Scholar. We got to get all these dudes on board. Try and swing in with what we have. And then use group shot somewhere. Ready to drop it on the Elegant Edge if necessary. We're just going to get opened on next turn. I guess it's not as bad. Some of these stats will fall off. I was hoping that we would get the Portal Scholar on board and be back up to our 4 units and then be able to group shot for 2 damage. I don't think that's going to be the case here.
The sea beasts will fear us.
Maybe it is.
The weak don't deserve mercy.
Okay, we can handle these Taskmaster dum-dums. Manageable board. a pirouette. Less manageable, so we're going to take 5. Yeah, gotta take the 7. Okay. We have the group shot. I keep envisioning that we're able to block this elegant edge, but that's tough. Like that the disaster turn there was when he got I think we probably should have just played the Norra. I didn't think about how bad it was going to be if the Electro Harpoon didn't land. So being in a spot to where we played Norra, just able to block and then clean up afterwards, I think that would have been a little bit better. That was just a pure disaster of a turn with him being able to play the combat trick, have the unit survive, and get all the extra damage out of it. That was bad. That's one of the things that worries me about this format is I never took the time to learn Samira Fizz. And as we've come into this new meta, like they released Nidalee and Shurima, they're terrible at interacting with anything. They released the other 2 champions, the one champion, what's her name, Neeko, that can't play spells in her deck, and then the Poro King, which doesn't have any interactive spells in his kit. And so, like I feel like Samira Fizz is just primed and ready to continue running right through standard. I was very surprised that nothing got kind of like preemptively nerfed with this new format coming out. And so where I'm kind of going with this is like best of 3 season is about to hit. Like Samira Fizz just isn't really in my kit. You've had people that have played, 6 and 7 and 1,000 matches of Samira Fizz, and then like I can't play that mirror. I'm just gonna get completely smoked in a best of 3, and so it's a real weak point in my skill set. And it worries me for this upcoming season, but we'll see. Everybody just played Eternal last season, right? Everybody's forgotten how to play Samira Fizz. Alright, so he gets the dude. I'm going to... No, we can't group shot it. I'm going to say I want to group shot this, so if he plays Evelynn next turn, we don't have to worry about the flip, but that's not on the table. Still have a pretty reasonable start, though. I mean, we can add in the Portal Scholar, get that portal in the deck, hopefully get another summon out off of it. Might get a block here. I mean, I assume he attacks with Evelynn here, right? So we get another portal in the deck with the Junk Construct. We can just kind of continue on this plan of blasting through with the width. Say everybody gets impact, right? Not gonna bring it, huh? not gonna make the swingsies here. I'd love to have a little bit more impact on our day.
When they scream.
All right, so we got 2 portals. Got a pretty big chance to hit those, right? We got our 1 natural draw, then we'll cycle 2 with Rummage next turn. So should be looking pretty good and hitting at least 1 unit. Let's just continue adding stuff. Well, maybe the Shepherd's just not going to find the time here. Let's do this. Let's Rummage the Wrench and a group shot. Group shot's not doing too much work here. 1 portal. So we're guaranteed to draw 1 next turn. Bit of a bummer that we didn't hit right there. We could technically portal again since we know that we're going to hit, but we're getting close to that burn kill space, and so we can stop there. With this, fairly easy. Whenever you hit the Wharf Rat, you want it to the right. We have all of these delightful impact units, and so we should get an impact in, and then he'll go up to 2 attack, get the extra point of damage on the round. Brings a Siren Song. It's starting to get scary. It's starting to get scary. Send it to the face place. Get rid of this Evelynn. Hopefully he doesn't have a follow-up unit here. He's gonna have one big boy, that's for sure. One big one coming at us. And a wrench. Okay. I could work with this. So he's got Challenger in this mix, but he doesn't have Overwhelm or Elusive anymore, so we should be able to swing around for the damages. It's a big old Evelynn, though. Nobody's contesting that. Let's just wait. I'm curious if he actually comes in and hooks our Portal Scholar and sends the wrench back into hand. He's got to be attacking with Evelynn here, right? There's no way he just passes the turn. And then we can get the free wrench discard.
I know a place.
Impact. What do we got? Stone Stackers. More of that impact everybody wants. Nice. And Pot of Pain. Make sure everybody gets it. It didn't come in, but I want to have as much width here as we can. The play opponent's going to try and make to get out of this mess is to say put Salter in front of this double impact unit and then hate spike him onto another one, and so I don't want to stack up a bunch of stats onto a singular play. So we didn't put the equip onto something else. We just loaded up the Wandering Shepherd. Here they come.
Tough day, friend.
Just need one unit to connect for some damage, right? We got 3 in hand. Is this some Evelynn card? Sure.
You're almost there.
Alright, we did it. GG. On to the next one. We'll get ourselves one more game in here. These games at the beginning of the season tend to go a little bit slower. It's a little bit more challenging for us to get that full 8 games in, but been some good ones nonetheless. Been some good ones. Need to draw some more of those wrenches, though. That's the sign of true mastery is when when you're picking up all the wrenches at just the right time. All right, last battle though. Let's hang on to this Norra. See what else turns up. There's the wrench. Get all the combos happening here. This is what you're talking about, trying to get these things to work. Get the portals, the wrench, the impacts coming onto your summons, the parts made whole to discard the wrench and get the additional summon. Lots of sweet stuff happening here.
Home is just around the portal. Step lively. Portals everywhere.
Right. Opponent's starting to get on board, though. They aren't playing around. Got all the Norras. Most Norras 2022 coming at you here. I think we want to just go ahead and parts made whole. We're not giving up on too much. If we spike one of these portals, we have the chance to just completely annihilate his board. And at the end of the day, we do pick up a 3-2 while we're at it. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool.
Strike if you must.
I'm okay to give up on Norra. She's got the impact weapon, so it's nice if it comes back to hand. And then we have 2 Norras in hand, so we can just play another one next turn. You gotta give people some time to figure this deck out, and they'll stop killing your Returno Wrench unit. Much like how the the junk construct is unblockable. These units are as well. Looking pretty good. Combat time.
Blade or palm.
I don't think there's a way that the Norra deck can really, or the Neeko deck can really recover from this. They have no board. Neeko's at probably a 2 or 3. Yeah, she's a 2. We're starting to load up on portals. We have a million cards in our hand. I think we're in pretty tip-top shape here. Returno Wrench number 2, ready to cap everything off. Look at this. Look at this. This is the way it goes, right? This is exactly what we're talking about with this deck. You get to shuffle all the portals in. You get to discard the wrenches. Then you get those extra burst draws to just slam all the damage through. Feels good. Feels good. Now, I got a little click happy there. We probably shouldn't have group shotted that unit. If we had 7 mana on this next turn, we could Portal Palooza and then Rummage. But we're a mana short of those shenanigans now. I think it'll be okay, but it would have probably been better than what we're doing here. Combat time. Is he dead yet? The amount of attention we played this game is near 0. I feel like we're still doing just all right. You too could have gains this easy if you pick up the Norra wrench deck. You could also have it. It's not just me, man. Not just me. All right. What do we got? He's got more stuff coming in. We've got 9 mana at this point. Probably just drop in a Portal Palooza. We can blow back this turn if we need to. Don't think we're gonna need to, but got the option. He's out of cards now, so we can make our blocks perfect and be a-okay. Oh, he's got Neeko though. Oh my goodness. So this gets us pretty close to not dying, and we're not giving up on our impact unit back here, right? We have this double impact blue sentinel. He's gonna be the key for us next turn, so I feel pretty good with this. Now we can deal some damage, discard the wrench, discard the boom baboon. We're not actually gonna play him. And then the discard will happen, then the unit will die, and the card will come back into hand. Maybe shouldn't have even blocked with Norra here. Just keep that extra impact. We're so close to just finishing the game if we have it. We got double Mystic Shot now. Okay.
Fear is the first of many foes.
I think that's gonna do it. Y'all want to go out with some style? We'll go out with some style. And we're gonna. Oh, he conceded. I was gonna say we're going to play Norra, and then we're gonna stance swap her for the kill. We're not gonna play these Mystic Shots, but opponent concedes. The game ends. GG. Not a bad set of battles. And so we can pull this up a little, talk about it a little bit more. Again, you got to see pretty much all of the combos that we're really trying to pull off with this deck, right? We're trying to get the portals going, and then we have the ability to churn through our deck with all of this card draw. All of our removal can go damage to the face, and then there's just this like really nice set of synergies between the rummages and the parts made whole, discarding the Return O Wrench, and then also being able to discard that same stuff to your burn spells. The Return O Wrench getting a bunch of cycle and letting you actually get some chip damage in, and then just flooding these boards and not even actually dealing too much physical combat damage. But between the chip damage from Norra and the impacts from the wrench and the impacts from our summons and then the burn damage from the electro harpoons and the blowbacks, it all adds up to just be this really nice collection of damage that isn't kind of like singularly focused for the opponent to really pay attention to. And so that's all pretty nice. You got to see some of these cool combos with using the parts made whole and Norra and the Portal Scholar and the Return O Wrench. Just Return O Wrench with parts made whole is quite nice and strong. That's one of those spaces to where I start to wonder if we shouldn't be playing like 3 parts made whole and then 2 Portal Paloozas or something. Again, I'm not entirely certain on all of those numbers, but I really like a lot of the places where this deck is heading. It's got a lot of real raw power to it and a lot of longevity and a lot of angles it takes to shut down everything that we're doing. And so very potentially powerful deck in this format. I wouldn't be surprised if not this deck exactly, but something similar to it became more of a format staple. And so, good stuff. I had fun with that. I hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. And so hope everyone enjoyed the video. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way and you had a good time watching. So this is Bust and me. Thank you for being here.